Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video, and I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so I wanted to give my take on what's happened the past 2 days. I wasn't at the practices, but I've seen a lot of reports. I've seen a lot of clips. And I pretty much talked about this last week. I said that the Lions joint practice that the Giants had was going to be probably the most important thing that we see this offseason, besides maybe the dress rehearsal preseason game, if there is one, because there's one less game and we don't have that third game that's the dress rehearsal. Probably will be the second game, but even then, I haven't seen too many guys play all the way into the beginning of the third quarter. So this is an important practice. It's an important practice. There's only so many reps that the starters will actually play against other teams. So it's coming out of the gates, the Giants, they got punched in the mouth. And there was a ton of reactions. First, I mean, reactions on both sides. A lot of people were attacking the reporters that were reporting what was going on during the practice. And then the other half of the fan base was just saying, oh, the season's over. The Giants are bad. This is exactly what I thought. Daniel Jones can't complete a pass to save his life. He's going to be horrible. We overpaid for him. And then, like I said, you got other people saying, like, Daniel Jones didn't make any mistakes. You're just reporting on the Giants. You're just hating on it. So the truth always lies somewhere in the middle, which is why I always run into so much friction on this channel, because I only report what I actually believe in. I only talk about what I actually believe in, or what actually I believe is the truth. So it just is what it is right there. But yeah, Daniel Jones went out there. They were saying that one reporter said that the receivers were open and Daniel Jones just couldn't find them. He just wasn't throwing it to him. And then when he was throwing it to him, he was missing passes. Other people were saying that the receivers were blanketed, and they weren't really getting much separation. But when they were getting separation, Daniel Jones was overthrowing them or underthrowing them, or to the left or to the right. Which, when I see things like that, it's just, you have to think critically here. Daniel Jones is more often than not an accurate quarterback. Daniel Jones's issues in his career have been processing. It's been decision making at times as far as ball security. So his issue has never been accuracy. He can always make he can make pretty much every throw from the pocket that you can think of. But he didn't look good. He didn't look good at all. He was missing guys. The receivers, whether they were not getting open, I did hear they were dropping passes. I think Slayton had a drop. Waller had a ball that he could have caught. It wasn't necessarily a drop, but a contested catch that he usually catches. I think Paris Campbell had a drop. He does not look as dominant as he did against Darnay Holmes and Cordell Flott. He just didn't look as dominant as he did, because those two, they're not doing well right now in the slot. They're just not doing well. So Paris Campbell did not look as good as he has in the past, but he still made a couple of plays here and there. But yesterday, offense was bad. Defense, they started off good, and then the Lions just were able to run the ball. They were able to throw it. Amon-Ra St. Brown got Deonte Banks on a back shoulder, where Deonte Banks didn't actually have bad coverage. It just was a nice back shoulder catch. He's got to learn how to adjust to those passes, because they don't really throw too many back shoulders in with the ACC. They don't really throw too many back shoulders there. So I'm not worried about that. And he's looked better, a lot better, the last couple of days. And also, he looked better today, or not today, but yesterday. When I think I've said yesterday in the past, I meant the first day of training camp. This is the first day of the joint practice. This is a day after the second day. So if you're following me, continue on. But the first day we got punched in the mouth. A lot of people, they kind of hypothesized. Justin Pinnock over at Talking Giants, a couple of reporters too, said that the Lions just came out with so much energy, and the Giants just didn't match that energy, and it just ended up showing on the field. So day two of training camp with the Lions, the Giants came out and they matched the energy. The one-on-ones they won, the 7-on-7s they won, and we actually had some good plays on the 7-on-7s the first day. And then also the team drills, the 11 on 11s, the Giants started to win. So they came out the second day. They learned from what they learned the first day, and they came out that second day and they played much better. Daniel Jones, the same reporters who people said were against Daniel Jones and were only reporting bad things on him, also said that he came out and he looked surgical yesterday against the Lions defense. So I think it was all in all a better day. Again, like I said, to talk about Deonte Banks, he had a nice pass deflection on Amon-Ra St. Brown, so he got him back for that. The Giants were breaking off runs. All of the running backs, Saquon, Eric Gray, I think I saw James Robinson, Brightwell, I think had one run. So pretty much doing almost everything we wanted to do. Not as explosive as far as like all the downfield passes as we did look in the team drills against ourselves. But still, nonetheless, we were able to move the ball well. And then once we got into the red zone drills, Daniel Jones just pretty much almost every pass got completed for a touchdown. So much better day two. I'm thinking of anything else that stands out. Nothing much. Some high level notes I've seen from people from different sources. Jalen Hyatt has looked good. He's been getting separation. You also got Micah McFadden. Again, shout out to Justin Pinnock at Talking Giants. He was watching the Giants defense and he said Micah McFadden looked good. I mean, not like he's a Pro Bowler or anything, but he got his hand on a couple of passes, deflected them, and when he's been doing that also against us. So it looks like he's getting better. And I'll give another shout out to Kid Blue. And he's been on the Micah McFadden train. I was just saying this dude he's got to go, but it looks like he's improving in his second year. Thinking about anything else, Brian Baldinger posted about Jordan Riley, and it looks like Jordan Riley could be, a nice third defensive tackle, but he's not even going to have to worry about that because we got A'Shawn Robinson, we got Nacho. So if he's not ready, he won't have to be ready yet, but he's looking like he has potential to be that third defensive tackle and make some noise, which is good because he's a late round pick. Our other guys, Trey Hawkins was out there. He was out there. They said he kind of got beat by Amon-Ra St. Brown, but that's not really a surprise. But other than that, he kind of held his own. Deonte Banks, for the most part, held his own. Dane Belton had, of course, that highlight where he just ran up behind David Montgomery, who was, I think, caught a screen pass and broke up the field. Dane Belton just came behind him and just grabbed the ball and just took it from him. I mean, it was like Will Hill in 2013 against Pierre Garçon. Back when the Washington team had a different name. I don't even know if I can say the name without, getting penalized on YouTube, but he grabbed it right out of his hands, just like Will Hill did back in the day. So that was a cool highlight to watch. He had another forced fumble there. And there were, I think, a couple of other forced fumbles. I couldn't tell who forced those, but as far as the defensive line, Dex is always dominant. Leo was more dominant day two. The edge players, they said we're starting to win around the corner, which I'm happy about that because we're getting the push up the middle. We have got to have guys that win around the corner, that win the edge, and it looks like they're finally starting to do something. And these are two guys. I don't even know if they've both made the Pro Bowl already, but these are two Pro Bowl level tackles that we're playing against. Penei Sewell, and why am I forgetting the other tackle's name? I want to say Taylor Decker. I'm thinking that's his name, and I'll just go ahead and stand on that for now. But these are two good tackles that we played against, so I expect them to only play better against other guys. And I'm thinking of anything else. The one thing I want to see from those two edge players is I know they're going to be able to rush the passer down the stretch. I just know. We do need some more depth to have a third guy to give those guys a rest because they cannot stay on the field like 90% of the time, but they've got to do a better job holding the edge. They have got to do a better job. These are two guys that were good at holding the edge in college, and they're not the biggest edge players, but they've got to hold the edge in these run plays because I have seen some run plays and some highlights. against the Giants offense. I have seen run plays get to the outside, and that was a problem last year. And we cannot afford to have that same issue. Now, Bobby is there now in the middle of the defense at middle linebacker. And then you also got Micah McFadden, who looks to be improved. So they're going to have to help out with cleaning that up. But these guys have got to start holding the edge in the run game. It's just that simple. But other than that, I think we got 2 good days of practice. The first day we didn't have too many highlight plays. We didn't wow people. The second day we had the highlight practice. We looked really good. But at the end of the day, neither one of these plays were a game. Neither one of these practices were a game, and it doesn't count. So let's not throw a party either way. I know some people want to see the Giants go to the Super Bowl. Most fans probably would. Some people want to see the Giants not go to the Super Bowl. Some people want to see them go to the toilet bowl so they can say they was right about certain players. But no reason to celebrate either way after this practice. But hopefully going into this Lions game, we see a drive of our first team offense just to see them out there, just to be like, wow, that's cool. But I'm starting to think that if this offense continues to look this good in all of these practices, they're probably not going to play till week 1 because you got guys like Darren Waller. You don't want to get your quarterback hurt. You don't want to get your running back hurt. You don't want Andrew You don't want any of that happening. So we may not see any of these players until week 1 because they've been performing so well in practice, which really has not happened since, a couple of years into Eli's career, a couple of years into the end of Eli's career was the last time people said the Giants offense looks great this training camp. So that's my take on what's happened these past 2 days of practice. It's not going to be open to the public anymore going forward. So we're going to have to rely on reporters to tell us what they see over the next 3 weeks. But that's kind of what I took away from everything so far. So I'll stay as tapped in as I possibly can and what's going on in training camp. But you guys let me know what you're looking forward to next. I know we got a game coming up tomorrow. Hopefully we see something exciting from the first team in the next couple of weeks. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.